Mic check, mic check, mic
All right,
check,
we in
mic
there.
check,
We
mic
in there.
check. Cool,
All right,
cool.
man. Whenever you're ready to run it.
Ready?
Yeah, it's on you.
Hey, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to That'll Be $8 a podcast, aka the Black Awareness Rally podcast. You could be rocking with anybody else in the world right now, but you are here with us. And for that, we do appreciate you, some man. Pledge alongside my main man, B.
What up, y'all? What up? What up? What up? Hey, can
And
y'all
we
hear me out there
welcome
just fine? Can you, pledge?
and
Can
we
you?
welcome
Let me see.
everybody to the conversation if they can hear us.
Gucci, we Gucci, we Gucci.
So
All right,
what's been going
man.
on with you, man?
Woo. Yeah. Um, pledge. I hope you're ready to roll. Dog. You can sit back, just pass me the ball and watch me run ISO plays all night. I'm saying, you know what I mean? That's what you can get the
James
rebound,
Harden with the rock.
or we can run some pick and rolls, but it's gonna be a lot of ISO today.
I'm just saying, is it James Harden with the Rockets to where it was all him, or is it James
It's
Harden with
it's gonna
the
be James
Nets to where
Harden,
he got a
and you could be Clint Capella. You know what I mean? You're gonna get you a fat contract out of it. You know what I mean? Go ahead and dye the little patch of hair blonde. You know what I mean? For those, I guess that's probably too deep of a sports reference for everybody. But it's gonna be some
what's going on?
who would be a good Batman and Robin? Is that Batman and Robin?
That's the one I hear about the most.
You think that's the one most people be up keeping up with?
That's,
Uh,
yeah, that's the
I
one I
think I
hear about
found
the
a sweet
most.
spot, a sweet lane to get the people going for the show topics. So um,
Oh, I got
we
you.
all about engagement. We got to get engagement up. So
No doubt about it.
we got to play that game. Got to play that game. Uh, but yeah, man, how you week, man, so far?
Oh man, it's been back to the grind, man. The week before it was kind of like the spring break week, even though I didn't get a spring break. It
Mm-hmm.
was a little bit slower.
Mm-hmm.
We went away on vacation the weekend before. Then we came back, um, and it was kind of slowed down a bit. But this week we were right back into it. Um, a lot of school, a lot of work, a lot of basketball. So
It's
it
in
is
the
what it is,
grind.
man. Got to take care of business. So
Yeah, man, it's pretty much the same for me this week. The this coming week, the kids are gonna be back in the building. Uh, just about full time. They had a little
okay,
setup where they was bringing in like half one day, and, half for 2 days, and half for another 2 days. So they're gonna bring back
got
all
you.
the kids that elected to go full time. They're gonna bring them all back in for the rest of the week, every day this week. So, uh, good thing I got vaccinated, man. If fully vaccinated, I'd be
For sure.
kind of sort of immune. So
Let's hope so, man.
yeah,
Let's hope
man.
so.
Brother get to keep his job. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
For a whole another year. So that's gonna be cool. Hey, man.
I'm pretty sure the kids would be excited to get back amongst one another again, and probably get out of the house for at least a couple of hours
Mm-hmm.
for the day.
Yeah, a few of them was excited about that, requesting to make that transition. So we shall see
Yes,
if they. It's gonna be like the first day of school, man. Honestly, just resetting everything, just trying to
yes,
get everybody accustomed. Especially with these kids,
yes.
they've never been in my classroom, so it's gonna be new for everybody.
It is crazy, man. Your first day of fit and your Easter fit might be the same one this year, man. That's
That's what it's
that's
gonna be
like
like,
that's
man.
first day of school fit and your Easter fit at
It'll
the
be the
same
same one this
time.
year. Listen, bro, it's gonna be a little different this year. It's gonna be a little different for everybody. So we're gonna see.
Kids gonna show up in all linen.
Hey, y'all had something called flow shiners up here in Orlando when you was growing up.
Yes,
Y'all have floor
yes,
shiners? You
yes.
you had to pair of floor shiners?
Of course, man. Of course.
Hey, them things used to literally make the floor shine. Hey, if anybody out there in TV land know about floor shiners, drop a like in the video chat or a comment. Yeah, them floor shiners used to be everything, boy. You used to be mad when the little chrome buckle
Yes.
came off the top. But anyway, yeah. That's what's up, man. It's starting to feel like things might be going back to normal sooner than later. So hopefully we gonna
Yeah,
keep that pattern going and
no doubt.
go ahead and get started. Hey, run the Black Awareness Rally. I'm gonna take a call real quick while you get it started. You can go, wherever.
No doubt, no doubt, no doubt. Well, ladies and gentlemen, I will start with the Miss Black Awareness Rally moment for this week, and I am going to give a shout out to Miss Issa Rae. I'm pretty sure she's been a part of the Black Awareness Rally, Miss Black Awareness pageant before, but I want to give her a shout out for inking a 5 year. Some people are saying $40 million deal with Warner Media, and that's HBO, HBO Max, and Warner Brothers. And it's going to be over a lot of different types of projects, scripted, documentaries, unscripted. If you are familiar with her work, she started Insecure. That was her first show on HBO. I think they're coming up on their fifth season this year, which will
Mm-hmm.
be her final season of Insecure. But she has some other projects in the works. She's also a part of the Black Women Sketch Show. She's
Black
part of that.
Lady, yeah,
So,
yeah.
what's
They
that?
got renewed too. No, I'm saying they got renewed too.
Okay.
They got the second
Yes.
show. It's supposed
So,
to be launching this next month, I think.
yes. And I believe that this is something that we're going to touch on throughout the show, this episode throughout the show. So, I just want to give a little tease, what we call in the in the what production business. But I also want to give a shout out to Miss Issa Rae for continuing to do her thing and to be a trailblazer in the entertainment industry.
Yeah, congrats to her. Don't want it to be misunderstood. That's definitely an accomplishment, and she's a relatively young lady, so congrats to her. For my Black Awareness Rally pageant contestant, uh, wait, did you do arts and entertainment? Or was that Black Awareness Rally pageant?
That was Miss Black Awareness.
Okay, cool. Yeah, that's where I'm at. That I'll be nominating Miss Dominique Maruso. She's a playwright, and she just had Paradise Blue, which was one of her scripts or plays, be produced, and it'll be audio formatted because people still can't go to the actual theater. But the play was actually nominated for an Obie Award, and this will be directed by, written by, starring black people, uh, some notable people: Blair Underwood, Simone Missick, she has a TV show. I think she's a black female judge. I think it's called Your Honor. And the play, if
Yes.
anybody's interested in checking it out, is about Detroit in 1949, about a black neighborhood called Black Bottom, going through gentrification, and the characters in the story are a couple, and they own a jazz club, and they're having to
Okay.
deal with what gentrification brings with it, and some ominous figures coming in to upend everything, and the owners of the club have to decide if they're leaving or staying in town. So, um, yeah, I just wanted to shout her out. Um, just try to highlight more art. You know what I mean, like we continue to do. So, if you guys are into going to see plays or listening to plays, check out Paradise Blue. Again, the name of the play is called Paradise Blue, written by Dominique Maruso.
Sounds like a compelling story.
Yep. What you got? What you got? Where we going
Okay.
next?
Well, I mean, the two stories talked to me about before are kind of on the sports and entertainment, but I do want to give a shout out to the Chiefs quarterback, Patrick Mahomes.
Mm-hmm.
This is he has partnered with HBCUs, and they're going to start something what they call a Legacy Bowl.
Okay.
And this is major, man. It's kind of like an all-star game
Yeah.
for players in HBCUs to where he's going to take the top 100 players
Mm-hmm.
from HBCUs and bring them together for an All-Star game. And it's going to
Wow.
be, in addition to it being like an All-Star game, it's going to be a camp to where they can like go through like a combine
Yeah.
before in front of NFL scouts,
Mm-hmm.
and really give them a chance to kind of make to put themselves in the best light before NFL scouts. So big shout outs to Patrick Mahomes for putting this together and him sponsoring HBCUs to get an event like this put together, to where HBCUs will have another platform to showcase the talent that they have. So big ups, big ups, big ups.
Ooh, well, y'all gonna be big mad today, boy. Cause I don't know if you guys are noticing that there's been that like the country's changing, and a lot of different sectors in the society are starting to get a spotlight on them, for good or for worse. And you know, a lot of different parts of Black America are being prominently displayed by a lot of corporations, a lot of large names, namely HBCUs. With the NBA, definitely going to be big with the NFL. So um, that's going to open the door for a lot more talent. I hope you guys are ready. I hope we're excited about the opportunity to see more and more and more talent and Black stories and Black storytellers.
Yeah, and just to kind of give you guys numbers, there were 29 NFL players from HBCUs that were part of the NFL last year, and 5 players actually played in this year's Super Bowl.
Wow.
So I mean, there are players that are producing in the league. So and this just kind of further highlights. We were talking earlier this week about we were mostly joking about Doug Williams, but of course he came from HBCU
Mm-hmm.
and went to become a somewhat star in the NFL. And he has gone back into coaching HBCUs in the past. So it's they have produced some talent. So
You know what? I kind of messed up, man. I had my stuff backwards. Dominique, because I nominated 2 women this week for some major things. Uh,
okay.
but I guess we'll go ahead and run it. For my arts and entertainment, I will use what I have for Miss Black Awareness Pageant. Uh, another Black woman from Detroit created a new app that connects freelance creatives with other gigs. And the young lady's name, I mean, the app's name is Kinfolk. It's going to help creatives in the Metro Detroit and beyond find job opportunities, network, and build teams. And the group of women that put that together, we have Leah Hill. She's the CEO of the app. And there's Chelsea Modest, and she's the CFO. And Amber Lewis, she'll be the chief marketing executive or officer to make sure that app is getting out there in front of the young people. So I want to shout out to them. Hopefully that'll generate more artists and entertainers that can take advantage of this new wave that America's trying to put together. And I'm looking forward to it, man. Any way we can get artists and entertainers out and to tell more Black stories, tell them with some authenticity, tell them with some integrity, tell them with the most amount of craftsmanship and skill possible, so that we can start to see ourselves in more than just 2 or 3 rows when we go to the theater. So shout out to Kim Folk and shout out to Dominique Maruso. All right, where we going? We're going. What you
Love the
got?
name too, man. The name is cool too. So
Yeah, yeah, definitely, definitely.
it's almost like an inside joke, you know.
It technically kind of, you know what I mean. You got to be at the cookout to know what we're talking about when it comes to that. And I'm
No
here
doubt, no
for it,
doubt, no
man.
doubt.
I'm here for it.
For sure, for sure. Well, I'm for the community moment, I'm staying with another sports figure, Richard Sherman. He partnered up. It's a website called Million Stories, and he is doing a series, video series for them, and it's called Adulting with Richard Sherman, where he touches on several different financial topics.
Mm-hmm.
As how to file your taxes, buying a car, getting out of credit card debt, investing for the future. These are things that a majority of people think are just kind of common knowledge. But honestly, some people just don't, they've never been taught this, or
Nope.
they don't have one place where they can get it. And I know sometimes we would rather listen to athletes as opposed to people who specialize in these different arenas.
Yeah.
So I'm just going to give a shout out to Richard Sherman for him, being, an athlete that's going to also educate people in these manners as well. So, shout out to Richard Sherman and to the website Million Stories. And Million Stories, just to kind of give you a insight into the website. It's really a website for young entrepreneurs for them to go and get resources from other entrepreneurs.
Mm-hmm.
And he's just kind of giving advice to everybody about these different financial matters. So
I mean, that's dope, man. Anytime somebody's willing to get out there and again,
yeah, and remember,
philanthropy.
and I think some people forget that he's a Stanford educated brother. So,
Is he?
yeah, he went to Stanford. So,
Oh man, didn't know that. Didn't know he was real smart. Uh,
yes,
well, folks, can't beat that. We gotta we gotta change the narrative, man. We gotta change the narrative from the inside as it pertains to insiders. I know that's my biggest thing when it comes to me discussing a lot of stuff. It's a lot of people that want to educate the outsiders on what it is to be a black person, but I want to educate black people on what it is that black people are able to do, the availabilities, the opportunities, the limitless options we have as black folk out here. So I know it might come across as me trolling, but y'all don't listen otherwise. So you know what I mean? So you gonna watch a master class today of your boy getting it in. You know what I'm saying? I hope you're ready. Hope you take your blood pressure pill, drink some water. It's about to go down. It's about to go down. uh, for my community moment, I wanted to just take the chance to uh, highlight some of the community groups that are going to fight the voter suppression bill that just passed in Georgia, what was just written into law in Georgia. Um, there's tons of groups in Georgia that are trying to fight it. NAACP, Civic Georgia, New Georgia Project. What's the name of Stacey Abrams' group? I can't remember. Y'all forgive me for that, but guys, there was a new voting bill written into law this past week that basically limits how many people can vote and how often you can vote and places you can vote and how you can help people that are trying to vote. So the groups that I just named are filing lawsuits against the state, and hopefully they can garner some real progress because it's a trav sham mockery, as men players used to say back in undergrad, and somebody's got to do something about it because these folk is getting out of hand. They are upset. This would be an example of uh, white backlash, because Republicans are pissed that they lost Georgia and they don't want to lose the next election, which will be the governor, which hopefully you guys help Stacey Abrams win so we can get Brian Kemp on out of here because
yeah,
he's just trash and a half. So let's get this
and
done. Oh, go ahead.
no, I just want to add two things to that really quick. Is that Georgia isn't the only state. I think I heard it was 43 different states
Yep, with
have passed
253.
different laws
Mm-hmm.
since the past election. So it's not just Georgia.
Mm-hmm.
I think Georgia got a lot of attention. One, because I was it a state legislator got arrested during the signing. I'm
Yeah,
pretty sure you saw
yeah.
that video. But
uh,
Georgia has gotten a lot of attention on it
Park
because
Cannon.
of
Her name was Park Cannon.
yes. So unfortunately, she was arrested for trying to view the signing that was taking place in her place of work, of
She's
all
been released.
places.
Yeah, she's been released from jail, guys. So that update happened last night. If you guys are
So
concerned,
so it's not just happening in Georgia. So it's something that is going to demand nationwide attention, and
right?
so it's something that we definitely have to keep our eyes on.
Listen, man. I'm not going to talk about that kind of stuff as much anymore. Just seems that the engagement isn't where we want it to be when we talk a lot about politics, but it is definitely on my heart and mind. But we got a show to do. You know what I'm saying? And we don't want to weigh y'all down so much. We want to make it so y'all can participate with the stuff we doing. So with that in mind, yeah, y'all look out for those lawsuits. Share any posts that you might see about how people can donate and participate and help the struggle. Because even though most of us talking about voting don't matter, y'all wasn't saying that when y'all got them stimmies, them $1,400 stimulus checks. Y'all wasn't saying that when those provisions for child allocations came out. There's a myriad of other things that are coming out, but man, this past year was evidence that voting in local elections, state elections, and national elections can all help us all eat and win. And man, we're in a new day, man. Like the country is starting to push some stuff forward that we haven't seen the likes of in almost 20, 30 years. Definitely in 80 years with the type of stuff that they're planning on doing. So, minimum wage is on the ballot. Just any chance you get. California's giving out free money for artists so that they don't starve. A lot of states are starting to decriminalize drug use and allocate funds for homeless people. This is all thanks to you guys voting and putting different people in elected positions so that the society can actually benefit from the work of politicians and the money. So, yeah, y'all keep that up. Keep that up. Keep that up. Keep that up. And we won't belabor that point much longer because I know that y'all want to get out here and talk about arts and entertainment and who the pair of brothers that you would rather be talking about it with. Well, ain't a better pair to talk about it with. Let's just be honest.
Nah,
It really
you're right about that.
ain't a better. Is
You're right
that
about
shade?
that.
Was that shade?
It's gonna be downhill from here, but you got that right.
Oh, that's downhill. What you call it? I wouldn't call it downhill. I
It's
would
gonna be
say it's
downhill.
this is where the audience gets involved, as I would like to say. Uh, Listen, man. So I'm trying to get this graphic up. I was doing too much, and I'm not prepared, and I'm pissed because, oh boy. Anyway, topic one, topic one, topic one. Oh man, let me send y'all the invite so y'all can call in. You know what I mean? And try to talk to you, boy. You know what I'm saying? Because I know y'all want to participate. Last week we had a good time with y'all calling in, so we want to keep that party going. And my bad for not doing that earlier. But this week we're gonna focus um a bit on some stuff that's always near and dear to my heart. Anybody that knows me personally know I'm always kind of on this crusade by myself, but well, not by myself. It's just I'm usually the only person in the room when it's time to talk about it. We've gotten news that Lee Packer, who is it Lee? No, Will
Will
Packer.
Packer.
Yeah, I was
Will
getting mixed
Packer.
up with Lee Daniels. Will Packer is announced. He announced that he wants to produce a biopic or life story movie about Doug Williams. Anybody that doesn't know who Doug Williams is, Doug Williams was the first African American quarterback to win a Super Bowl. Is that correct, Pledge?
Correct.
Yeah,
Yes.
and he is a HBCU graduate. Um,
Yes.
I think he played in the Tampa Bay area, and
He
all that wonderful stuff. Now,
he
uh,
went back to Grambling. He was a quarterback at Grambling. He went back to Grambling
hmm
and coached for a
hmm
little bit as well.
so definitely a feel good story. Definitely something that isn't a bad thing that should be highlighted. So we want to congratulate Doug Williams on receiving the opportunity to have his life story told on the big screen. Now, here's where the fun part. I mean, excuse me. Here's where the terrible stuff comes in. One of our friends, one of our co-sponsors. Yo, we ain't named none of the sponsors, dog. Golly, boy. Shout out to McDowell's. Yeah, I was doing good all week. Shout out to McDowell's for being the title sponsor. Only place you can get a McFlurby. You know what I'm saying? Go ahead and get you one. They got a new location in Zamunda if you're over there. Go and catch you one if you're in New York. I heard they opened it back up. I think they have 50% capacity. So you might be able to get your McFlurby now if you got your vaccine. Uh, Also, shout out to Sexual Chocolate and Randy Watson. Played his homeboy from high school has just been doing a wonderful thing to keep. Why you laughing, man? I'm trying to tell it. Y'all
Randy
excuse
Watson,
players, man.
he's 175 years old, man. We didn't go to high school together, man.
Yes, you did. Yes, you did. I would be ashamed, dog. He a good dude from what I hear, man. Anyway, yeah, I just pinned the invite link on the top of the comments, y'all. So when we get to that part, y'all can call in and we'll talk live on the air. But yeah, yeah. Yeah, shout out to them, and also shout out to Waleed, the barber, and International Cuts. Again, if you guys are in the West Shore International District area, go ahead and holler at my boy. He gonna get you right. You know, he's a good dude, got a really big heart, great father, and he's always trying to enlighten people. Just all around good dude.
No.
Yeah, so support. Y'all like talking about supporting small black businesses? That's definitely one that you guys should support because that brother definitely gives back, and he's just a good dude. So anyway, Waleed the barber posted in the group chat that Will Packer is gonna make that movie about Doug Williams, and players naturally players got real excited because players were like, "Ooh, football movies, yeah, huh?" And all the other dudes in the chat was like, "Yeah, football." Ah. And I was like, "No, I don't want to watch it." And so everybody was like, "Oh, you hating. Why you don't want to watch Doug Williams' story? Because Doug Williams was the first black man ever, and then Doug Williams he won the Super Bowl, and then Doug Williams. I like it ain't got nothing to do with Doug Williams. I don't want to support Will Packer films." And so my friends was being thick and obtuse, and they was like, "But Doug Williams." I was like, "I don't. It's not about Doug Williams. It's about Will Packer and the films that he makes. I don't want to watch Will Packer films." And so that turned into this whole thing about people wanting to know why I just won't go watch the Doug Williams movie. I'm not watching the Doug Williams movie because Doug Williams is, Doug Williams is Doug Williams. Again, we respect him, but Will Packer's films, I think they're trash. Just like I think Tyler Perry trash, big trash films. So the question today is, how are we supposed to judge black cinema and TV without y'all being like, "Oh man, he rich and he make a lot of money and he black. We should support it." When are we gonna get away from that? Like when are we gonna stop just saying, "Oh, it's black, just see it," and start holding people accountable for telling our stories the best way possible, right? Because we just saw HBCUs are coming up. They get more love. Doug Williams and Will Packer are products of HBCUs. I don't. Did Tyler Perry go to college? I don't know. I don't know if Tyler Perry went to college. But when are we going to
I
start?
don't think so.
Yeah, I don't know
But
either. I know
I
you.
mean, but just to give background, Will Packer from St. Petersburg area, and then went to FAMU. So
Yeah. So my thing with the chat group, with the bros in the group, with the brothers in the group, not bros, excuse me. I was like, look, man, no no offense to Doug Williams. I hope he get all the money he can out of that situation because he's a good dude. He went back and started giving back to a black community by teaching at Grambling, coaching at Grambling. But Will Packer is ass when it comes to making movies. Why do y'all keep accepting ass level movies? Like why? Just because it's telling you a good story. Like to be fair, this is how I judge movies. I go, is it a good story? Which means, do I like it? Do I like what it's talking about? Do I like, all the stuff that happens? And then, is it a well crafted movie? Is the acting great? Is the score great? Is the directing good? Is the lighting good? Is the setting? Do they take advantage of settings? Is the writing great? Is it rushed? Now, those are different. Those are two different things. Those are two different lenses that I look at movies with and television. So, y'all heard us talk about Issa Rae's TV show Insecure, which is wildly popular, extremely successful. First two seasons, I was like, these are great stories. I can relate to these stories. But then after the second season didn't change, I was like, okay, why isn't this getting better from a TV show making standpoint? Pledge,
What's up?
why you don't care about the movie quality, man? Why you just be like, man, it's Doug Williams? Why you don't tell Will
Um,
Packer to step it up?
I mean, I think you did not remember my reaction to the accurately.
Go
I
ahead.
was surprised that Doug Williams was getting a biopic, and and I mean, I was surprised, but I understand the people that are local to the Tampa Bay area. Like, I did
Mm-hmm.
not grow up in Tampa Bay,
Mm-hmm.
but we have two people that are part of the chat that grew up in Tampa Bay, so they see Doug Williams. They revere him a little bit more
Mm-hmm.
than I do because, as I said, he played for Tampa Bay Buccaneers, and in all honesty, I did not grow up a Tampa Bay Buccaneers fan. So I was surprised that he was getting a biopic. And I mean, the Will Packer thing, that really didn't matter to me. I mean, somebody has to produce it or whatever. Um, on a more of a general statement of why do we feel we have to support Black films, because I think a lot of times we fear that if we don't support Black films, that is something that it will prevent opportunities in the future for Black films to be of being made. And I think that sometimes we have to embrace them. We have to show support, whether it be financially or we have to show support in just creating buzz so that we can continue to keep getting our stories made, and we can continue to flex that creative gene to where we can get better and improve on the story making and on the production quality of the film. So I think we have to start from somewhere, but I think that if we don't support where we start at, we won't ever be able to grow and improve and get better at things. So I think that's one of the reasons why we feel like we have to support, because if we don't support it, it's something that will be taken away from us at some point.
Tyler Perry owns a studio now. That's no longer an excuse.
Yes, but the thing that got him to the level of owning his studio is because he created a very loyal fan base that rocked with him from in person stage plays to to movies and everything, whatever. So you see what is the result of people getting behind somebody's work and somebody's creativity, is that it can lead to that. The two people, like, I mean, Oprah Winfrey, she has her own network. What helped her
So
get there was a loyal fan base. What helped Tyler Perry get his own studio is a loyal fan base. So the loyalty comes before the the opportunities. I would say. So
that
I
ain't how
think
it worked in the 50s and 60s and the 40s when we had no opportunities and we had to be twice as good as the white people in our industry to get just the same opportunities. So now that we're given opportunities, we're saying we have to be a quarter as good as we used to be. Like, never mind the white people. Like, they doing their own thing. They have a myriad of types of films they make and crafts. Like, they have really crappy stuff and they have really awesome stuff. So never mind them. But I'm talking to us. It seems like the only thing we want to make is crappy stuff that make us feel good or make us be like, oh, she's suffering just like I'm suffering. Like, when we gonna start telling other stories, man? Our lived experiences are so rich and so varied. So we got a ton of stories we can tell. You know what I mean? But when are we gonna start demanding that the other stories that we have be told? And it don't always have to be about the first black person to do something or some oppression that a black person faced. We have other stories to tell. Why don't we? Tyler Perry is established now. He no longer has to do the song and dance, right? Why we still why we still not demanding more? Like Issa Rae, I can't really put a lot of responsibility on her back because she's still tied to Warner and HBO Max. Like they're gonna let her do her thing, but she might be limited with the amount of stories she can tell, the variants of stories that she can tell. But the crafting of the films and the television shows should get better. Like we have John Singleton, who made Snowfall. That's an excellent TV show. Very well written, a lot of character development. It's a lot of information in it that you could almost think this really did happen in real life when it comes to cocaine in California. And that thing is excellent. Like that
Yeah,
brother put his time and energy into it, and I clap every time it come on. Now, I understand it might not be as sexy as the TV show Power because there's not a lot of sex. You know, there's not a lot of super duper rich looking tuxedos and tailor made clothing and all that stuff. But it's the same story. It's about drug dealing and, you know, black kingpins. It's the same story in a major city. Why isn't Snowfall loved as much as Power? Because it's a better show and it's made by a black person. What's the problem?
yeah, but I mean, but you got to understand, before the unfortunate passing of John Singleton, he had 30 years in the game, though. So he had elevated himself from a movie like Boys in the Hood, that came out, in the 90s or whatever,
Mm-hmm.
to something that was multi-level, like Snowfall.
Mm-hmm.
But as I said, it's a growth process. It's a maturation. It's a process of growing, of going from one thing to the next. But the one thing that has to stay consistent is the support and the encouragement to continue to move forward. And so
The people
we
in
we
my
get
mama
something.
generation gonna
We get
support.
something. What's that?
The people in our parents' generation, they gonna keep supporting Tyler Perry no matter what he do, right?
Yeah, because they know that keeping somebody like him on what is bigger than just that particular story. What he is attempting to accomplish in his in everything that he does, that's bigger than the story that he has to tell. What a black man owning a studio on a former what was it, on a former slave plantation, I believe, that is bigger than any one particular story that he has to tell. And that's the thing about
Yeah.
when you own your own studio, is that you're not only being able to tell your story, but you're giving other artists opportunities to tell their stories. So I think we come from it from a bigger picture. We don't come from it as, oh, I'm showing up to be entertained. It's, I'm showing up to support this brother.
So,
No matter,
so
and
you
I and
tell,
I think and I think I think it's a different approach and a different view.
so we never gonna get out of that. Oh, the white man won't let us get another one if we don't watch this one, so we gotta watch it. We ain't gonna never evolve from that. Like he has his own studio. Like Black Panther was made there. Dolomite by Eddie Murphy was made there. Coming to America 2 was made there. Like what else do we what are we waiting on now? Like when do we start? When are we allowed to say, all right, nigga, that was a trash movie. Do better. Like Tyler Perry said he ain't gonna never change because he right for his audience. So AKA, as long as they keep buying it, I'm gonna keep making it. Like the movie, he made a movie last year, or that was released last year, like at the very, very, very start of the pandemic, and it was about some couple, but Taraji P Henson was in it, Felicia Rashad was in it, and like the internet went off. It's like, yo, Tyler Perry tried to H out of us because of how terrible he made all the wigs and the hairdos and the makeup look on all the women in the show, and there was a man in there too, and so like Twitter was going in on him, and he had to reply. It was like, I don't care about that as long as I'm telling black stories and stuff, blah blah blah. And it was like, but that, come on, dog. Now you're just insulting us, dog. Like we be with you most of the time, but now you're doing a worse job at depicting us than white people. Why you keep doing this to us, Tyler Perry? Bro, it's been 20 years, bro. Like, when are you gonna stop?
I get you. I mean, as I said, I don't think we should be. I don't think we should blindly follow anybody to where everything that they do we think is gold. But I do think there is a difference between. I mean, showing somebody support isn't just saying, "Oh, everything you do is lovely." Showing somebody support just means that, hey, I understand what you're trying to do, and I'm with you through this process.
So,
So I mean, I don't think, as I said, I don't think he's above reproach to where we can't criticize or say, hey, we expect a little bit more of you. I don't think he's above that,
Then
but I do think we do have
so
a different approach when it comes to supporting, our artistic endeavors. I do think there's a different approach.
So we got Drill saying we've evolved from that already. I know a ton of people that don't watch Tyler Perry films. I know a lot of people that don't watch Issa Rae Productions. Quinique says you can't, you just don't watch it. Y'all tell to Kendrell's point of view, he's saying that we've already reached the point that I'm asking when will we get there? You know what I mean? Like we have quality stuff that we make and that we can critique. We have enough black people that make films, that want to make films, that are studying to make films, and that are demanding better from the people that are the gatekeepers. So Tyler Perry would be a gatekeeper, Ava DuVernay, Oprah, Issa Rae, Kenya Barris. Those would be gatekeepers. Antoine Fuqua, Will Packer. Those are the people that they're established. If you need to get on, you're probably gonna have to go through them, right?
Yes.
But we also have lesser embraced black people, like not lesser known, but lesser embraced black people that are trying to raise the standard for doing stuff. And it's like they're not getting love. Even though y'all, when the product gets dropped, it's like, oh crap, this is actually pretty good. Like, man, Drill, what? People started watching Snowfall, what? Season 3? Is when people started like caring about Snowfall outside of what
Oh,
everybody would
I've
call
been
it.
on Snowfall since season one. I mean, I
Yeah,
thought
but
it
you're
was
you're
a compelling
technically in
story.
this group that I'm about to name. You're blurred.
Yeah.
So that's a black nerd to support mine too. You mix the two words up and make black nerd. They call it blurs. So blurs are pretty much day one early adapters of Snowfall. Blurs are early adapters of the Atlanta TV series. Blurs were early adapters of Insecure. Now, I jumped off the Insecure boat because I was like, okay, she's just not getting better. She's just getting stagnant. She's just gonna keep doing it over and over. And that's why I stopped messing with Tyler Perry. Because when I first saw the first Medea tape, freshman year of college, I just thought it was hilarious. And then we was on a bus ride to an event in a chorus group that I was in, and they was like, "Oh, y'all want to watch the next one?" And so everybody was like, "Yeah," and they put the tape in. It was the exact same stuff. I was like, "Oh, he just keeps doing this over and over." I was like, "This ain't funny. This y'all gonna just keep supporting it?" And then he released movies that were just adaptations of all the plays. I was like, "Y'all are really gonna keep watching this over and over and over and over?" I was like, "Okay, I can't do it." You know what I mean? So I don't understand when does the mainstream black person, I call them mainstream black people, when do they start saying, you know what, now, okay, now we get it. Medea, everybody got a big grandma who had the house. We understand. When you gonna give us something aspirational in a different sense? Let's see. More people watch Ava DuVernay and Ryan Coogler films now. I I hope so. Crystal says, "What about Nate Parker films?" Let's talk about it. That's one of the people that's trying to get on. Is trying to get his foot in the door to get that embrace from the black community. This brother told the
Yeah.
Nat Turner film. You know what I mean? We thought we loved slave movies until the
Yes.
Nat Turner film got put out. Didn't nobody want to see it. Now it's because Hollywood said he raped somebody or had a rape accusation, but didn't nobody go see that film, and even fewer people talked about it. That was a great film. Then what about his American Skin film? We watched that, but did it get the critical acclaim and praise? Like he's taking stories that are very common. It's so bad. Saturday Night Live made a skit called "Nigga Typicals." Did you see that skit before? Dang it! I should have
No, I
queued that
haven't.
up. It's called Nigga Typicals, and Nigga Typicals are films. You know what? Players, why ain't nobody go see uh, Birth of a Nation and American Skin? Why ain't nobody going to see Atlanta? Why ain't nobody falling in love with what is some other black stuff that we made? I don't know. Just talk about it. Let me see if I can pull it up. Go ahead.
No, I mean, I know that somebody mentioned Ava DuVernay, but I think Ava DuVernay has reached a level to where it's not just black people that resonate with her art. I think Ava DuVernay has reached a point to where she's more crossover, to where her work kind of resonates with everybody, and not just a black audience.
Hmm.
And so I think that's one thing that kind of, and I don't want to say it's something that she intentionally does. I just think that that's just how good her work is that it just hasn't, it's kind of grown outside of just the culture. So
Well, I think Ava DuVernay is a bit of a special case because she does everything that we ask her to. Some of the stuff is kind of, you can tell she's still learning how to do it, and so I'm not upset about that part. But her fan base is still black, but she does try to do more than just black films. So, uh,
do you? But the thing I'm getting at, do you think she tries to do more than just black films, or do you just think that the quality for her work just draws in more people? Do you think it's her saying, "Oh, I'm going to reach outside this box," or is it just the box just exploding and just
what's a
reaching out to more
black?
people?
What do you mean by not black films? Like what has she made that's
Like,
not
because
considered black?
I no, I'm saying like her shows on TV. I think that like I haven't watched Bridgerton, the show on Netflix or whatever,
Oh, Shonda
but like
Rhimes. You talking about
everybody,
Shonda Rhimes?
I'm sorry, I'm confusing the two. My
Okay,
bad,
okay,
I'm
yeah.
confusing the
Go
two.
ahead, go ahead.
But yeah, but no, but I think Shonda Rhimes made Bridgerton, but I just think that Ava DuVernay, I just think that her work isn't just. I just think it continues to grow and expand. So that might be an example of somebody who you're saying shows that growth that you want other creatives to show. Is that
Yeah,
is that
like
what you're getting at here?
Ava DuVernay, she's definitely trying something. Like with the movie, Jesus Christ, what's the movie with the little black girl and it had Oprah in it? That was technically an attempt at Afrofuturism, which I really appreciated her for that. Was it A Moment in Time? A Wrinkle in Time. It was A
A
Wrinkle in
wrinkle in
Time.
time. Yes.
And now, when I watched it, I was like, oh man, like she's telling a story that black people don't ordinarily tell. And I mean black people, mainstream black people, because we got a ton of books where we attempt to tell that story. Uh, like this one. Hold on. Like this story. This
Yeah.
story is about to be adapted into a film, and people are gonna likely support it, but I don't know if we're going to support it to the magnitude that we supported Black Panther. For the people that will be listening to this later, the book's called Children of Virtue and Vengeance, right? And so this ain't a mainstream black person book. This ain't a mainstream black person movie. It's not going to be very much like what you're used to. Players you might not even want to watch it because there's going to be a lot of sci-fi in it, right? But Ava DuVernay's A Wrinkle in Time comes from the tradition where it's imagining black people in a future that white people don't usually depict us in, with abilities that white people don't usually depict us with, and in roles that white people don't usually depict us with. And so, because of that, I fear that a lot of mainstream black folk won't support it. Like the people that watch Bridgerton, I'm scared they won't go see Children of Virtue and Vengeance or Blood and Bones, excuse me, because she wrote Blood and Bones, it's a series. And it's only because it's going to be a lot of sci-fi and it's going to be a lot of stuff that black people are not accustomed to seeing us do on TV. So my thing is, I'm like Tyler Perry. Ava DuVernay ain't been in the game as long as quote unquote. Her name hasn't been as big as yours or as long as yours has. Why is she doing it and you not trying? You got the studio for it. You can do whatever you want to do, and you slap your name on it. Black people can go see it. So why are you not trying to do different stories? Will Packer. Will Packer still want to keep telling these old tied behind. Oh, we used to be slaves, but we ain't slaves no more. Oh, we wasn't allowed to do this, but we can do it now. Oh, when he ain't doing that, it's just
I'm
you know,
I'm just trying to figure out what Will Packer film is has that tone to it.
Girls Trip. The Doug Williams film.
What does that have to do with being slaves?
No, no,
I
I'm saying
mean,
that it's
Cleopatra.
mainstream black
I
people
mean,
stuff. It's a story about going to Essence Festival.
it's mainstream
Okay,
black. I mean, but
I get
it's
it. Like
like
black women want to see the
how
story.
nuanced can a
Nothing wrong with that. Huh?
I'm saying how nuanced can a rom com be? Like it's not too many ways to tell a romantic comedy. It's just not too many different.
No,
It just can't be that nuanced.
I completely agree. There's
And
some
I
white
think that's
guys
what
that
just
that's
about
all they
all of
do.
his movies are.
Nah, because his first film that I saw was Trois, and that was like a thriller, and I was like, oh, this was kind of good because it had a lot of plot twists. But I'm like, yo, all right, bro, like you eating, you why you ain't greenlighting other kinds of films? I looked up, he executive produced like 28 films. I don't recognize any of them films for being anything outside of a nigga typical, aka a rom com. Like when we gonna, what's up, man? We got like 5,000 rom coms. When we gonna get that? You know what I mean? That black
So
sci-fi.
so let me ask you: should people tell the stories that they know and that they're comfortable with,
No, no,
or
read a
should the
damn
people
book.
tell the story, or should people tell stories that or they should just read? They should just tell stories
Okay,
that everybody else wants to hear. I mean, because if that's your lane,
okay,
that's your lane.
okay. Glad you asked that. If black people knew more of their history before we came to America, we would have different stories to tell. If black people knew more of their culture and their ancient philosophies and ancient ways of learning and knowing and being, we would have different stories to tell. This book and the series that comes with it is about a Nigerian and I think it's Yoruba culture and ways of knowing. So she didn't have to do a ton of imagining. She had a framework already that she could write and just put people in and put scenarios in. Why black people won't get with that? Like we just saw what was the TV show? What was the country Lovecraft Country. The episode where Hippolyta's episode where she got the journey in the space and she went to connect with the lady in the spaceship and the different dimension and then the future. Y'all love that. Y'all thought that was the best thing ever because, oh, I get to be the black woman that learns tech. There's an audience for that. Why are we not feeding that audience?
I'm not the audience for that
Yeah,
because I
that's
thought
you.
the whole
I get
Lovecraft
that. That's
Country.
you.
I'm just saying, but I thought the whole thing was like, all right, if we gonna tell history, let's tell a history lesson, but don't.
But
As I
it.
said, anytime you bring sci-fi
I
into
know
it,
you don't like sci-fi, and
yes,
you can be one person that doesn't like sci-fi, even though you watch Black Panther, which is technically sci-fi.
and the only reason I showed up to
I
watch
know.
Black Panther because I didn't want to be the one black person who didn't watch it. That is God's honest truth. Like I told my mom I was going to see Black Panther. She's like, "You haven't seen it yet?" I was like, my mom saw it before I did, so I didn't want to be that person.
Look, man, we got Kendra saying Tyler Perry's caught up in the production wheel where he's constantly pumping out information. I think I need to delegate. Like he was notoriously uh, reprimanded for not letting anybody else write his stories. It would be an easy fix if he just had a writer's room. Jordan Peele does do a great job. We need to count Jordan Peele. Jordan Peele does do a great job. Thank you, Crystal. Uh, let's see. Not all black women look alike. Players G. I don't know what he was referring to on that one. Caleb Pinkett. Drill. We're talking about Caleb Pinkett. Charm City Kings was a dope coming of age pick by Caleb Pinkett. Is in the works. I'm not watching that. Uh, Again, I'm tired of being in the theater talking about the neighborhood, life in the neighborhood, the struggles of living in the hood, the struggle of being in the low SES community, the struggle, the struggle, the struggle, the struggle. I'm done with that, bro. I grew up in that. I don't want to see that no more. Give me Hippolyta going into the 35th century and learning how to code, and the encryption key is her blood because her DNA is attached to the spaceship. Give me that. Give me a future where I get to pick where I want to be. Just like Hippolyta got a chance to go dance and sing back up with Josephine Baker. Why weren't you telling Josephine Baker's story yet? And not about her being the first black person to do something. Tell the story about her walking down the street with a damn panther on a leash on the Champs Elysees. Y'all don't want to see that story? Y'all don't want to see black people in the future in the 35th century with superpowers? Didn't y'all love that Miss Yellow video where she was walking around with the big bag on, the garbage bag? Everything Missy Elliott does is Afrofuturism. I don't even know if y'all know that. Y'all love that video, but then you don't want to watch a movie about it or a TV show about it. Like how we like Timberland and Missy, but we don't want to look at Afrofuturist films. I don't get it. Or TV shows.
I mean, the thing is, I I want to get to this where creatives can make what they want to create, and whoever rocks with it. Whoever doesn't, doesn't.
I mean, that's always the
And
risk. Yeah, that's always the risk.
people can watch what they want to watch, and whatever resonates with them, and whatever doesn't.
What about the people that can't create but want to see a different story? What about those people? Do you telling me they don't deserve to be seen? Because we have this movement
No,
now
they
where Issa
can.
Rae is just cleaning up with the millennial black girl. But what about the little boy that wants to be a space fighter on a spaceship? You telling me he doesn't deserve to be seen? Or the little girl that wants to build a time machine that goes back in the past or into the future? She doesn't deserve to be seen?
I mean, nowadays, whatever story you want to get out, you can get out. I mean, there's no barriers to entry.
There are still
There's no
barriers. There's
no.
still
Like I
barriers.
said,
Tyler Perry ain't
there are any
producing.
barriers.
What Tyler
I
Perry
mean, because
producing? What he greenlit?
look at Issa Rae's where she got her start. She got her start Awkward Black Girl on YouTube. That's what I'm saying. There's no barriers. If you put out dope content that people resonate with, it will find an audience, and your audience will grow. So what I'm trying to say is that there's no barriers to entry. The fact that me and you can come on, we're on how many different platforms? We're on Facebook
Two.
right now. This is going to be on YouTube. It's going to be on Apple. It's going to be on Spotify. It's going to be on Google Podcasts. The fact that me and you can, record something and put it on wax and put it out on 5 different platforms, and whoever wants to come listen to it can listen to it, whatever, shows that there's no barriers. So whatever story people want to get out about themselves, or whatever story people want to tell, this is the golden age to where there as long as you can compel an audience to listen to you or to consume your content, there's no barriers at all. So that's what I would tell the people, is that if enough people want to hear your story, tell your story and it will get out there.
Okay.
Period. So I don't think you have to go through the gatekeepers.
You do have to go to the gatekeepers to be seen. Like let's.
No, you don't have. You have to go to the gatekeepers to continue to grow, but to get your name out there. Look at how many people go viral over bullcrap.
I mean, that's different though. Those are different people. Like, we're not talking about those sketches on TikTok. Like, yeah, it does seem that you could be famous for less now. I definitely agree with you on that. But when it comes to, trying to produce something that gets wide distribution, it's a lot harder, man. Like, I'm with you on that.
I don't think it's a lot harder.
You can put out whatever you want whenever you want. Like, you could definitely do that.
I think it's a lot more people that are in the game, but I think that, you can definitely test out ideas and see if you have an audience for whatever it is you're trying to put out.
Yeah, Gerald named some stuff. Jingle Jangle, Soul. I'm not counting that one, even though I get what he's referring to. Soul it was a different lens, but it was still Magical Negro and a White Savory in it up. So I'm not counting that one. But Jingle Jangle, that was definitely different. That was, I'm not going to say the first of its kind, because, Wizard of Oz, The Wiz, excuse me, was definitely in the same vein. But it's been a while since we got something like that. And it was masterfully done. Like, I had no problem with Jingle Jangle. So Jingle Jangle definitely needs to be promoted more, and we need to let people tell more of those stories, because that was a story about an inventor. How many times we got the story about a black inventor in a black town and a black daughter and a black granddaughter who continues the family business of inventing? We don't get that very often. See You Tomorrow. See You Yesterday. It was a Spike Lee produced film by some of his college students about a black girl and a black boy, Blurds, who built a time machine, and they tested it to stop the police killing of their older brother. That kind of went under the radar. Nobody really talked about that. So there are stories being told, to Pledge's point. Stories are being told. But why ain't niggas supporting it? Why we don't want to support it? Why we keep falling on the same 6 people to entertain us? What's going on? Why we so lazy? Talking black mainstream media, not all black people, but the middle of black America. We don't support a lot of stuff. Like white people, they got war stories, they got sci-fi stories, they got stories about delivering a pizza, they got stories about being a bum, they got stories about being in detention, they got stories about alternate universes, they got stories about androids. Like you can't tell me what a typical white person movie is because it's so varied. And I keep asking us why we keep telling the same four stories about us. Like, okay, we get it. Hollywood wouldn't greenlight certain stuff 20 years ago. Tyler Perry's here now. Spike Lee's here now. Avery DuVernay's here now. Oprah's here now. Shonda Rhimes is here now. Shonda Rhimes did a good job. She attempted something with Bridgerton. But why she couldn't just tell a black story in Africa? We got kingdoms too. We got majesty too. We have empires too. We have wildly, insanely rich histories too. Why are we not filming about that? Oh, but it looked better, and I wanted. That's because you got a fantasy to be a white person. If you're asking me, I want to see the story of Mansa Musa, the richest man to ever live. I want to see the story again of black people in Egypt, Kush, uh, Nubia. We got a ton of very, very, very rich stories that we can tell, and we ain't got to be living in huts and being barefoot with war paint. Nigga, we got Wi-Fi and Twitter in Africa. like, did y'all know Lagos, Nigeria, is the home of the world's largest tech conference every year? Do we talk about that? Do we talk about Lagos being like the second largest world economy? When we gonna get that story? You know what I mean? That's all I be asking. Like you can keep your Tyler Perry movies. You can keep having those. You can keep letting Will Packer make them shitty movies so he can keep taking y'all money so he can live this pseudo famous lifestyle. But what about the kids and the people that are starving to see the rest of the world? When are we gonna get that Bass Reeves story? When we gonna get the story? Players, you know, there's a black guy. I gotta find his name. I'm so sad right now. There's a black man that he was a born in Georgia, but left Georgia because of racism. Went to Europe, fought for France in World War II, opened a jazz club. All the famous people you could think of in the 40s used to hang out in the jazz club. Had kids. The mother of the kids left him. It's a black woman. Left him with the kids. He started dating a white lady. Went back into the armed services to be a spy. The white lady took his kids and fled back to America. And when he got out of the army, darn near shot to death. Went all the way back to America just to meet his kids, just so his kids can meet him and be alive with him and all this blah blah blah. Then went back to France with his family and got honored by like this convention of French servicemen. They stopped the convention and came down, like the speaker stopped the convention and ran down in the audience, in the middle of the audience, to talk to him about how France would have fell apart if it wasn't for the work he did in the French army. When that story gonna get told? It sounds fictional because it's so awesome. I want to see that on TV. When I'm gonna get that story? Oh, you should make it. I can't. Next. That's why it didn't get made yet. And I don't care if y'all don't see it. I know me, Drell, gonna see it. Players, you might even see it because ain't no sci-fi in it. You know what I mean? But I could think of like 20 little kids. I got a little sister who's 16. Man, she looks like she feels like an outsider because she's a blur. She's in the anime. Like, bro, you know we ain't got no black cartoons yet? Like, no black anime yet, bro? We ain't got it yet. So you telling me black kids don't know martial arts? We can't watch it? Oh, I just, it's 2021. Like you said, ain't no more racism. Okay, cool, fine, great, got it. Can we see these stories now? Oh well, I don't really want to watch that. What? Oh man, ain't this what Rosa Parks
Fuck.
shot on the bus for? So I can watch that movie? Ain't this why they hit
I
Judd
get you,
Lewis in the
man.
head?
I understand. I understand that you're saying that we need to tell more than two or three types of stories. Because I think one thing we got on lock are the biopics,
And the rom
the
coms
rom coms,
and the struggle
the
flicks.
struggle flicks. Yeah, I think those are three we have on lock.
I just
So
be like,
we
look,
can expand into other categories. So
everybody out there in TV land, would y'all be mad? Like, excuse me, are y'all gonna go and support Tommy Adeyemi when her TV show comes out for her book Children of Blood and Bone? Are you gonna let your kids read this, or are you gonna be afraid because it's not about Southern Christian religion and civil rights? I mean, come on now, that's also part of your history. I mean, I grew up in a place where they was very serious about knowing your history. I ain't learned nothing about technologists or fighter pilots in World War II. I feel like, okay, I know Martin Luther King, no discounting what he did. I know John Lewis, no discounting what he did. I know about the marches, no discounting what those were. You know, but I just found out about Bass Reeves last year, and it took for a white man to tell me about Bass Reeves. Y'all know who Bass Reeves is?
no,
Nope, nope. But yeah. Anyway, enough of that. So, uh, the NAACP Image Awards were last night. Did you see that? That was cool. I didn't watch it, but
I did
I
not.
forgot. I just forgot. I would have watched it, but I forgot. Um, I'm sure they were talking about a lot of stuff, cool stuff. Um, guys, if you haven't watched Black Lady Step Sketch Show on HBO, check that out. It does try its best to give you a varied collection of black stories. Kind of, you could say, like kind of like Jordan Peele, Key and Peele used to do, where they tried to tell like a lot of different type of stories. Check that out. They got renewed for a second season. It's not the funniest thing ever, but I enjoyed it. So check that out. I don't know. I don't have anything else. I'm trying to find the name of the fighter pilot I was just talking about, but uh, yeah. But anyway, what you got, man? What y'all watching today?
What's that?
What y'all watching today?
March Madness still going on. So I think
True.
the key matchup I want to see today is FSU versus Michigan at 5. So I know they're about to go at it. So Juwan Howard, leading the Michigan Wolverines versus Leonard Hamilton,
Oh wow.
leading the
New
Florida State
guard, old
Seminoles.
guard.
So yeah, I
Yeah,
mean that's how you can look at it.
yeah.
That's how you can look at it. So see how those two brothers are going to lead their teams today. So I'm really looking forward to that.
Hmm.
I don't know the feel of the NCAA tournament has been off because they changed up the scheduling and the format of it. So it's been a little off. Like they're gonna have the Elite Eight games tomorrow and Tuesday, which just feels off to me. So
Yeah. I mean, the world's a little different. We could sacrifice 2 years for that.
yeah.
So
So
we'll
I
see
mean,
what
but I
happens.
don't know because I don't know if that had anything to do with COVID at all. Them changing the schedule at all.
I thought didn't the schedule start? Didn't they start the season later or something like that?
Yeah, but I mean, it started the same weekend, but as opposed to that Thursday, the opening games you start that Thursday. This year, I think they started on Friday. So I don't know what was up with that, but
Okay, check
either
it
way,
out.
man, it's gonna be good games or whatever, and they're gonna go at it. So
True. Uh, thank you all. Thank you, Mrs. Pledge. She said we had a great show. Drell said black people are supporting black films. You can't make an argument about us watching everything black people make, no matter how trash it is. They say we need to support more black films, or then say, I'm kind of confused on that one. I guess he's disagreeing. Uh, but I got the mic. uh, Man, y'all ain't call in today or nothing, man. Ain't nobody want to call in. Guava Island. I didn't get a chance to watch it. Thanks for reminding me. I think that's on Amazon Prime. That's the Donald Glover and Rihanna movie. So yeah. Also, uh, yeah, just enjoy your weekend, y'all. Spring break's coming up soon. Easter's coming up soon. Get your kids some floor shiners and some barrettes. You know what I mean? Kids need those. Need to bring them back. Remember when kids used to have the little barrettes, where the girls had the barrettes, and they put the little bows on the end or the little knockers? I miss those. I saw a kid
Yeah.
with those in my school last week, and I just smiled. I was like, oh, and she was running down the hallway and just heard them bouncing and clapping. I was like, oh, I missed this.
Oh wow.
I ain't seen that in a long time, and I'm a teacher, so I'm imagining not very many people. Oh, Kendra has entered the chat. Hold on. Let me. I think Kendra wants to talk about his viewpoint. Let me see if I can let him in. But yeah, man, do little girls, do parents still care about their little kids having the barrettes and the bow knockers and all that in their hair? Do they still make those? I know my sister and cousins used to kill that. Used to kill that.
Honestly, I do not know.
Yeah, I haven't seen it.
I have two boys,
Yeah, I know.
so
Figured you weren't gonna see it. But what?
so
You don't have any
I
like nieces or anything?
not young, no.
I got you. I got you. Yeah, I just kind of forgot about them until I saw those last week. Haven't seen those in a while. So, uh, trying to get Drell in the chat. I'm not sure what's going on, but it's moving a little slow. I don't know who's. I'm guessing that's on us. Oh, there he is. All right. Hold on. Let me see if you unmuted. All right, Drell, you can unmute yourself. Oh,
Am I muted?
no, we can hear you.
Now we hear you.
Okay. Yo, I don't even know what y'all was talking about. It took me so long to get in this room, but just point me a direction and I'll start arguing.
Oh, okay. Now we was talking about kids having barrettes and stuff. We don't see that much anymore. But
Oh yeah, man. Yeah, we
no,
evolved.
we evolved. What? Anyway, what was you saying, man? I saw you said something in the chat about supporting black films or saying we can't support them. I wasn't clear on what that was about.
Oh man, I was just saying that you said when we're gonna stop supporting like these trash black films, and then in the same Zoom meeting, you say we need to support more black film. Like,
Oh no! I'm not
you
talking
know,
about the number of
directions.
films. I'm not talking about the number of films. I'm not talking about quantity of films. That's not my argument. My argument is quality or variance in storytelling. That's my argument.
Well, I feel like you have a certain amount of gatekeepers, and you mentioned them earlier in the program. That honestly, right now they're in charge of what we see.
Yep.
I know that I forget the comedian that was going back and forth with Kevin Hart like last year or the year before.
Mm-hmm.
But he made the argument saying that, right now Kevin Hart was the it dude, and he puts a lot of comedians on, but he's responsible for the comedians that get put on. So when you look at film producers, you're also looking at who they're putting on, or the people that are green lighting these films,
Mm-hmm.
because a lot of the films that I think you want to see, they come with budgets that we aren't being given at this particular time. Like even with Tyler Perry films, I feel like, he can produce the films, but a lot of these backers have to back the films in order for them to go to the screen.
So you're saying
So,
well, what about like I got this script or film idea of just a black dude in nature, right? That's got to be cheap, considering you don't need no CGI. I mean, you probably need some hiking instructors, but what about the black guy or the black woman? Since they're having a moment. What about the black woman that just climbs Mount Everest? I would watch that. Wouldn't you
man,
guys watch that?
you keep talking about that film. Why don't you make it? You talk about that
So
film
I know
every
you're
week.
gonna say that.
And
But where?
I know
I mean,
you.
it's not a big budget movie. Like
You wrote that script, didn't you? You wrote
I
it.
mean,
You got it in your back pocket. Let me read it. Let me read it because I know it's
well,
fire. You keep talking
one
about it,
day, one day.
but I keep. But when it comes to that film, I feel like somebody has to make the um, has to go out there and make it because it's probably one of those films that are going to have to go to a film festival first and get raving reviews and then get picked up by one of these backers that says, okay, this did well in the film festival circuit. So let's see what this does to the mass public. Because when you were talking about Lagos, and I know they have like a film festival that's dedicated to a lot of the stuff that they make, like Nollywood. It's just one of those things that, you know, even going back to your Missy Elliott, like Missy Elliott got to tour the world and see people dancing and doing everything that they do. And she brought some of that stuff or some of that art to the videos that she was making. So it's going to come to some of these, like these filmmakers actually going out beyond their boundaries and saying, oh, I like this. Let me incorporate it into some of the things that I'm doing.
Sound like what I said to players earlier. If we knew more types of things, not, you know, more of the same, but if we had a very window for accepting information and experiences and cultures, maybe we could produce different things. And I think now, I mean, that's always been the case, but especially now, I think we got enough varied experiences and storytellers that the gatekeepers could let us in. I saw a comment from my mom in the chat about, you know, the old heads that's the gatekeepers, you know, the Oprahs and the Tyler Perrys. They got to let us in. Like, I'm sure somebody wants to tell these stories. You know what I mean? So I don't know.
Yeah, and I feel like I feel honestly the overall storytelling is getting better. Just with the cinematography and the way things look. Like Issa Rae, I made a chat earlier because I know when you were hyping up the show, you were talking about Tyler Perry's and you were talking about all the other filmmakers that pretty much make the same film that we're not progressing from. But Issa Rae is very big on it as well. But her cinematography like outshines some of the other people that.
Yeah.
So
who did she make?
Like
Queen
some of the people. Yeah, Queen and Slim was an awesome movie the way it was shot. It was a very trash movie. As far as the dialogue and like I won't watch it again, but as far as the way it looked, it was a very like awesomely shot movie.
I think we're getting better with cameras though. I think generally black people are doing a great job with camera use and cinematography for everybody that's out there watching.
And like I was saying, like the United States versus Billie Holiday, like that's actually Oprah's co-sign with Lee Daniels. And I thought that movie was going to be trash. Like, make no mistakes about it. When I was like, I just need to watch something while I'm doing work. And when I actually watched it, I was like, oh, this is a really good movie. Like, they taught a really good story. And I feel like those movies need to continue to get made because as we dive more into our African American history, we will go further back and we will get to some of the stuff that you're actually talking about because there's a lot of things like even with Billie Holiday, like I didn't know she originally performed that song. Like I thought it was Nina Simone's song. It's things that I continually learn that I probably should have already knew, but I didn't.
I mean, it's tough, man. We don't care about history as much as I would say our parents' generation, because you know, like I don't know who. No, else
I feel like we do.
No, I'm saying like it's different now. Like I feel like we kind of have to deal with a lot of people just throwing out mythological stuff and a lot of hype stuff and a lot of conspiracy mixed in, but stuff that is actually documented, that stuff that we can actually go back and look up. I don't feel like maybe not us, but the kids that are 30 and under, they're not spending as much time like studying or caring about it. Like this kid I work with at the job, this cat is so Atlanta that all he talks about is the history of different neighborhoods. He's the first person I heard talk about that. Like, I was like, yo, you really? He's like, nah, man, my granddad made sure I knew, you know, this ward and that zone and why it got switched and when that happened. That's some stuff on like hear my mom and like that generation talking about. Like they be on that heavy. But kids, you know, I don't know.
Yeah, and the reason why I brought up Khalid Pinkett, because again, I like Charm City Kings, and you're saying you're not going to watch it, which I understand. But I feel like a Charm City Kings has to be made in the Oscar Grant movie or
Fruitvale
Fruitvale
Station.
Station. I
Yeah.
feel like that has to be made before you get to a Black Panther. So with that being said, like the Charm City King guy, he's going on to produce a bank heist film, and it was like the most lucrative bank heist in American history, which was actually perpetrated by an African American. So the
North
reason why I
Carolina, something
say
like that.
all of that, the reason why, what's that?
I think it was in North Carolina, something like that.
Nah, it was. I think it was actually in California. It was the Dunbar
Yeah, I
heist,
remember. Yeah,
but
it was like a younger cat. Yeah, I heard about it, but go ahead, go ahead. Go ahead. Not to cut you
yeah,
off.
but the reason why I bring that up because I feel like a lot of our stories are just being reinvented and stole, not stole, but
No,
just
I
being
mean,
retold. Because when you look at this film that it's about to come out, like I actually look back to Ocean's 11, 12, and 13,
it looks the
and
same.
those aren't nothing but white Khalid Pinkett movies. So you know what I'm saying? Like when you look
White
at
Juwanna Man.
yeah, white Juana man. Like when you look at what's the name of the movie? Oh, 21. It was a movie about counting cards back in Vegas. That was actually a movie that was based on a real life story, but it was based on a whole bunch of Asian Americans,
See,
and the whole plot was changed to where it was
it was
like
all white
the
people except
ethnicity
one.
of the cast was
Yeah,
switched out, and the
one
one
Asian
person
cat.
that flipped on person was an Asian dude. I was
That's
like, man,
it.
that's some nonsense
So,
right
but
there.
you know what I mean? Like, you just talking about stuff that I'm like, okay, Tyler Perry, Oprah. I mean, they're the two now. I guess we got to put Issa Rae in that category. Kenya Barris. Hey, man, tell these stories like they're getting stolen now. You know what I mean? Now we're gonna start looking at stuff like, oh, this is a knockoff of, because you know they're gonna do a technically better job than we usually do.
It's just budget. It's just budget. That's
They
all it
what
is.
is Tyler Perry better cough up some cheese, then Mr. Billionaire.
What Tyler Perry got $1 billion. Like
That's what
he
I'm
ain't gonna put
saying.
all his money into. Like he ain't gonna put like a fraction of his earnings into a movie. Like you got to get
We
some
need
other
what? We need
backers to
what?
do
Like
that.
10, 15 mil? How much it costs to make Black Panther? Let me look at how much it costs to make Black Panther.
Nah, it costs more than that to make because them films barely break even. So like it
Black Panther, I'm
costs
pretty sure was over $100 million.
yeah, it costs hundreds of millions to make those movies. So like the CGI alone costs hundreds of millions. So it's not like a $10 million film. Like you're looking at Ride Along for something like that.
Yeah, I mean, I'm
So
with you. I know they're not cheap to make. I definitely agree with y'all on that. Just saying, like, when we gonna start? I don't know, man. I'm tired of waiting, bro. I don't want to be like
so
65 before I get that Bass Reeves story.
you gonna be 65.
You know what I mean? It's gonna suck. But
Yeah.
yeah, we're gonna let everybody go, man. It's been over an hour and a half at this point, and appreciate everybody rocking with us. Thank you for calling in, Drell. Hey, man, more people, y'all can call in and chat with us if you want in the future. We have that capability now. We're gonna try to keep expanding the graphics and whatnot what we have on the show, and we'll catch up with y'all next week. And y'all come on back 2 p.m. 2 p.m. We're 2 p.m. live. If you guys want to catch the live feed, live show where you can be on air, and other than that, catch us on YouTube, Spotify, SoundCloud, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Stitcher, Pocket Radio, everywhere. Support. Oh, Facebook, obviously. Catch us, catch us, catch us, catch us, catch us, catch us,
Man,
catch us.
I want to show. I want to show, man. I want to show. It's gonna be called "The World Through the Four Eyes of Kendrell Jamal
I
Watkins."
mean, don't play, man. Hey, listen, I ain't
I'm gonna
tell
get
nobody,
fired.
but let's.
I'm gonna get fired. I can't do it. I'm gonna get fired.
Oh,
You know me.
I
You
know.
know me. I'm gonna say something real bad.
Somebody gonna have to work with you so you can at least do a whole season. But
I need I
yeah,
need I need a
y'all
six
keep
second
on,
delay.
man.
I need a 6 second delay
All right.
and a dump button.
It's called edit. We'll do edits. All right, man. We'll catch up with y'all next week.
All right. Thanks for joining us. God bless. Peace.